About 200 miles outside the city, where the GPS signal kept dropping in and out, and the jungle on both sides of the road grew thicker by the mile. That's where our destination waited. The four of us, Abir, Sojol, Ronnie, and me, were weekend thrill seekers, always hunting for some old, mysterious, abandoned spot to explore. But we had no idea that this place called Mritupuri, Death's Domain, was about to become our final adventure. The paved road gave way to cracked brick and mortar when the dashboard clock hit 5 p.m. Winter afternoon, so the sun was already sinking fast. Everything around us felt dead quiet, except for the endless chirping of crickets. Suddenly, Sojol slammed on the brakes. "Dude, why'd you stop?" Abir asked. Sojol just pointed ahead without a word. A massive iron gate loomed in front of us, rusted so badly it looked like it might crumble any second. Hanging from the top was a weathered wooden sign, the letters barely legible. Mritupuri, entry strictly prohibited. We climbed out. The moment we pushed the gate, it let out this awful screeching groan, like someone in agony screaming through rusted metal. Beyond it stretched a narrow dirt path disappearing into the trees. As soon as we started walking, a strange smell hit us. Rotting meat mixed with damp, moldy earth, thick and suffocating in the air. "Does the air feel heavier here to anyone else?" Ronnie whispered. That's when we heard it, an old woman's voice, cracked and ancient. We spun around. There she stood, hunched over, dressed in tattered rags, her eyes milky white like cataracts had taken them completely. She raised one trembling hand toward us and rasped in a broken voice, "Boys, wherever the sun doesn't reach, get out while there's still light. This soil knows blood. It doesn't know people anymore." We laughed it off. Typical village superstition, right? Just an old woman scaring city kids. But barely 20 minutes after stepping into the village, the first real shock hit. No voices came from any of the houses. No kids playing, no adults talking, nothing. Yet on every porch, every veranda, sat a single pair of old torn shoes, perfectly arranged, like someone had slipped them off before stepping inside and never come back out. Then Abir screamed. We ran to him. He was staring down into an old well, shaking. Someone had pulled up the bucket. No water inside, just thick blackish sludge, and floating in it were raw human nail clippings and clumps of hair drifting lazily on the surface. Our hearts started hammering for real then. The sun had vanished completely behind the horizon, and right at that moment, the entire village filled with the sound of a flute. Eerie, wailing notes that didn't sound human at all. Something else
As the eerie
was playing
flute
it.
melody spread across the entire village, a bone-chilling wave ran down all four of our spines. It wasn't music at all. It sounded like the endless, tortured wail of something not human, something disembodied crying out in agony. Abir stood frozen next to the well, his face drained of color, eyes locked on that bucket of thick black sludge and the human fingernails floating inside it like pale, dead leaves. "We have to get the hell out of here, right now," Sojol shouted, voice cracking with panic. We turned and ran back toward the car, but the path we'd come down, it was gone, completely erased. A thick wall of fog had rolled in, and when we swept our flashlights across it, all we saw was dense jungle and twisted vines choking the way forward. 10 minutes earlier, we'd walked straight through there. Now it looked like the forest had swallowed the road whole. "Check the map. What does GPS say?" I panted. Ronnie yanked out his phone. The screen glowed a useless solid blue. No signal bars, nothing. Even the digital clock on our watches had frozen. Seconds weren't ticking anymore. It felt like we'd slipped into some kind of time trap where nothing moved ahead. Suddenly, a beer hissed. "Quiet! Listen!" We swung our flashlights toward a crumbling mud hut a short distance away. The pair of torn shoes that had been sitting neatly on the porch vanished. In their place stood a tall, stretched shadow. No face, no body, just two glowing red eyes burning in the darkness, staring directly at us. "Run!" Sojal roared. We didn't think, we just bolted, legs pumping in blind terror, no idea where we were going. We ended up bursting into the very center of the village, and there it was, a massive, decaying old palace, salt-eaten walls, collapsed cornices, broken windows gaping like black mouths. It looked like some ancient beast crouched there, jaws open, waiting to devour anything that came close. Then the rain started, heavy, sudden downpour. But these weren't normal raindrops. Every one that hit our skin stung and burned, like weak acid eating at the surface. No choice left. We charged the palace's enormous wooden doors and shoved them open. The second our feet crossed the threshold, the doors slammed shut behind us with a deafening boom, all on their own, locked in. Inside, total silence, pin-drop quiet, except from the floor above came the slow, deliberate sound of heavy boots walking. Thud, thud, thud. Closer, then stopping directly overhead. Ronnie screamed. His flashlight beam landed on the wall, written in fresh, dripping blood across the cracked stone. "Your blood will quench my thirst." And underneath, in smaller, careful letters, our names. Abir, Sojal, Ronnie, and mine. They weren't guessing. They knew exactly who we were. Right then, a single fat drop of red blood fell from above and splattered onto Ronnie's shoulder. He looked up, and there she hung, the same hunched old woman from the gate, now suspended upside down from the ceiling beams, like some grotesque spider. But her face, it wasn't human anymore. The skin sagged and peeled away from long yellowed fangs. She stared down at us with a wide, demonic grin, teeth glistening in the flashlight beam.
"Don't look up, just run." His scream snapped us back to reality. We tore down the massive, pitch-black corridor of the Great Hall. Flashlight beams bounced off the walls, and that's when we saw them, rows of ancient oil portraits of the palace's former residents hanging in perfect lines. But every time we rushed past one, it felt like the painted eyes followed us. Their lips curled into the same sick, satisfied smirk,
like they knew exactly what was coming for us. We sprinted until we hit a thick wooden door. I shoved it. It swung inward. We piled inside and threw the bolt behind us. All four of us were gasping, chests heaving. The room looked like an ancient library, floor-to-ceiling shelves buried under dust-coated thousands of books. In the center sat a massive oak table, and on it a single candle burned steadily. Who lit that candle? No one answered. The flame didn't flicker at all. It stood perfectly still, like there was no air in the room, like even our breathing had stopped moving the atmosphere. Ronnie spotted an old leather-bound diary on the table. The pages were yellowed and brittle. He opened it. On the very first page, in large, deliberate handwriting, 13th Shravana. The sacrifice is complete, but the souls are not satisfied. They hunger for new bodies. Those who come will never leave. We flipped the page, and our blood turned to ice. There, sketched in perfect detail, were drawings of the four of us: Abir, Sojol, Ronnie, me. But in every sketch, our eyes were missing, just two pitch-black hollow sockets staring out from our own faces. Then it came from the far corner of the library, a soft, rasping scrape, scrape, scrape. We swung the flashlight. From between the bookshelves, a single hand emerged, abnormally long, fingers ending in claws like curved daggers. "Ronnie, get back!" Too late. An invisible force yanked him backward like a hook in his chest. He didn't even have time to scream. In one horrifying blink, the bricks in the wall parted like jaws and swallowed him whole. Gone, vanished into the stone. We three clawed at the wall like madmen, pounding, scratching, all of us screaming, voices breaking. "Ronnie! Ronnie!" No answer. Only the sickening sound of bones crunching, wet, deliberate cracks from the other side of the wall. Then a deep, satisfied belch, like something had just finished feeding. Suddenly, the floor shuddered. The massive chandelier overhead swayed violently, then tore free and crashed down right where Sojol had been standing a second earlier. We pounded up the spiral staircase. Halfway up, from the floor below, we heard a voice. Ronnie's voice, mechanical, robotic, completely lifeless. "Don't leave me. Where are you guys going?" It wasn't him. It was wrong, flat, hollow, like a recording played through broken speakers. A trap to lure us back down. We didn't look back. We hit the top landing and froze. Someone was already waiting there, holding an old hurricane lantern, face hidden in shadow, but the jacket he wore, it was Ronnie's. The figure leaned forward into the light. Ronnie's face was still there, perfectly intact, but everything below the neck wasn't human anymore. A massive spider-like body clung to the wall. Dozens of long, segmented legs splayed out, holding it in place. The thing wearing Ronnie's face smiled slowly. The grotesque thing clinging to the wall at the top of the stairs slowly twisted its head toward us. When the lantern light washed over its face, the scream died in our throats. Ronnie's familiar smiling face was now sagging like melted wax, and from the pitch-black sockets where his eyes should have been, thick white maggots were spilling out, wriggling and dropping in the flickering glow.
Why are you going up there? Come back down. Mama's been waiting for you boys.
"Run, Abir! That's not Ronnie! Get the roof door open now!" We clawed our way up the last steps like cornered animals, slamming our bodies against the heavy iron roof door until it finally burst open. We tumbled out onto the rooftop, then spun and threw every last bit of strength into forcing it shut. Sojol and I wrestled the massive bolt home just as the pounding started on the other side. Boom, 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 like the monster was going to rip the metal apart with its bare claws. Outside, a full-blown storm had erupted. Violent, electric Kalbaishaki fury. Every lightning flash turned the night into blinding daylight for a heartbeat. And in those stark white bursts, we saw them. Hundreds, maybe thousands of shadowy figures blanketed the entire village below. Every single one stood perfectly still, faces tilted upward, staring directly at our rooftop. No movement, just silent, rain-soaked silhouettes locked on us, unblinking. They're calling my name. You hear it, right? They're saying if I go down, you two get to live. Abir, don't you fucking move toward that edge! It's a lie! Don't listen! I have to. They want blood. I lunged to grab him, but he was already gone. With eerie, peaceful calm, Abir walked to the parapet, stepped up, and simply dropped off into the black abyss. No scream, no fight, just vanished into the void. Another friend swallowed by the darkness. Suddenly, smoke poured from the small structure in the center of the roof. The door creaked open slowly. Out stepped the hunched old woman, deliberate, unhurried. In her gnarled hand, a curved sword dripping fresh blood. Behind her, 4 towering figures. No skin on their faces, just raw, glistening muscle, exposed teeth, and empty eye sockets grinning in the lightning. 3 finished, only you 2 left. Tonight, Mritupuri's thirst ends with your still beating hearts.
After Abir jumped, my mind just shut off. Everything went blank. Sujal grabbed my arm and yanked me hard. Right in front of us, the old woman, twisted and hunched, flanked by those 4 skinless executioners. Fresh blood dripped steadily from their curved blades, pooling on the wet tiles.
No one leaves tonight. This soil will devour your flesh, and your souls will stay trapped in this house forever.
Enough! No more! If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me! Sujal suddenly ripped the spare petrol bottle from our backpack, the emergency one we'd kept for the car. He lit a match and hurled it straight at the old woman. In seconds, fire roared across the rooftop. Flames caught her rags instantly. She let out an inhuman, guttural scream that split the night. While she and her monsters thrashed in the fire, we seized the moment. Sujal and I scrambled over the back parapet, climbing down the crumbling cornice hand over hand. We glanced below and froze. The hundreds of shadowy figures that had been staring up at us, now every single one had turned toward the blaze. Flames flickered from their open mouths like they were breathing fire. We hit the ground running. Behind us, the massive palace was fully engulfed, roaring inferno lighting up the sky. But escape? The jungle path ahead was still choked in thick fog. Then, my phone in my pocket suddenly lit up. GPS signal. It was back. Sujal, run for the car. We've got signal. We sprinted blind through the trees. Behind us, thousands of shadow figures moved like liquid darkness, gliding after us. We didn't look back. We reached the car, jumped in, turned the key. The engine coughed. Once, twice. Then on the 3rd try, it roared to life. As we tore out of the village, I risked one glance in the rear view. The whole place was a swirling ring of fire, and in the heart of the flames stood 2 figures, Ronnie and Abir. They were waving at us, calm, almost peaceful expressions on their faces, like they knew they'd never leave that place. We made it out alive, but a piece of us stayed behind in Mritupuri forever. Even now, on rainy midnights when I can't sleep, I hear Ronnie's voice in the dark, cold, mechanical, echoing through the storm. Don't leave me. Where are you guys going?